show. Okay, I need to clear. White. Ew. It's a good table. Of course, we're probably hot mic'd. Yes, the show's on. Excellent. Oh, welcome in, everybody. It's Hot Mic Josh again in the beginning of the show. So again, you might hear a burp or a fart. I might forget you're even there. Oh. Keep your ears open as we run the splash page, right? Keep you guys interested. We're going to be starting very soon. And I have a half and half Oreo canvas, I call them. A little black and white cookie, right? We've got the black on the bottom, just under half of our horizon, and then white on the top. I'm covering it with my BobRoss liquid clear, if you can't hear my swipey swipes. Excellent. I am ready when we are. Wow. Forget people can hear my terrible singing. I'm actually not that bad. Ugh. Oh my goodness. That was a burp. Almost falling over. So welcome in, everybody. It's Paint with Josh. We're back in the studio. If you've never seen my face, this is unfortunately what it looks like. Yeah, right? So I'm going to show you everything I've done to my canvas so far. I initially, in between shows, I took a white canvas, took a piece of tape across just under half, right, and blacked out the whole bottom with acrylic black gesso. I use a company called Liquitex. Then when it came time to do this painting, I put my BobRoss liquid clear into the black area, and now I'm wiping it with my paper towel, and you'll see a little bit of residue come off, depending on how much liquid clear you put on there, right? So then I'm going to go through the colors that we're going to use, but very first thing, we've got to put on liquid white into the top of our sky. Now, I'm not going to wash my brush of the liquid clear, okay? I'm just going to dab it off on a paper towel, dip in about 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch even, right? Out there on the end. It's not climbed up the bristles. We didn't dunk in the entire brush. You can see it more easily there, right? So out there on the end. Now, we've got to use a very light amount of pressure at first to leave a little X across our canvas, maybe a little stripe up here. And the more that I drop that paint off, the harder now I have to push in order to make that paint spread and slide across the canvas, right? We're literally scrubbing it in. I'm not lifting my brush off the canvas. We're not, you know, coming away from the canvas contact point, right? Like we're staying on here. We're not going like this and flipping and blah, 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 right? We keep the brush fully connected to the canvas as much as possible and scrub with a lot of pressure, right? The more pressure that we use, the more thinly scrubbed out the paint will be. And so it'll be easier for us to do our job coming up, right? So you guys out there, check in. Let me know where you're watching from in the night. Just wherever you're from out there, let us know in the comments now. Around the country, around the world. We've got Paint with Josh followers everywhere, my dudes. So you guys check in, and then I'm going to attempt to read them as they come in. Huh. Going to attempt to read them as they come in, And remember, you guys can grab this little old canvas right on the homepage of the site, paintwithjosh.com, or the Paint with Josh app on the Google Play and Apple app stores, right? So where we got people watching from here? Tennessee, Chicago, OKC. How are things out there? Okay, I would imagine. Minnesota, where they have very small drinks. Buffalo. Let's see. Wait, that says from Buffalo. That says from Buffalo, Minnesota. I thought Buffalo was in New York. Is there a Buffalo, Minnesota? Apparently someone's there from Buffalo, Minnesota. So we've got Michigan, Missouri, Toronto, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Texas over there, Palm Springs, Melbourne, Australia, Southwest, Indiana, Colorado, Kentucky, Arizona, Iowa, Florida, Ontario, Canada, and probably Ontario, California. You never know where people are watching from out there, right? So thank you guys all for checking in. If you could just all kind of talk to each other just about as often as you were just typing in right now, that will really help the live reach more people, right? If you guys could just chit chat back and forth in between each other, right? I've got mods and I've got fans that know everything, that tell you where to go, right? So if I'm not answering your question and they are, listen to them. They're trying to tell you where to go, okay? Let's do our sky up here first. Now, I had an idea, okay? I was thinking very natural kind of a sky, which means we have to use a very small amount of actual blue paint, okay? But first thing we're going to do is get a little of our India yellow, and I'm talking about the smallest bit. I'm even going to try to wipe off. Oh, God, that's probably even too much, right? Try to dab it off on my paper towel, because I just want the littlest indication of yellow down here. And again, that is probably even too much, right? Because I know if I continue to drop the paint onto the canvas, it's just going to continue to get more and more and more yellowy, right? I don't want it to get more yellowy. I want it to get more white and more faint. And so I'm going to wipe off the the yellow color off of that brush, try to get the most of it that I can get off just by dabbing it on a paper towel, smooshing it, right? So now we've got that liquid white residue in our paint or in our brush, but we don't have too much of that yellow color. And you can even see over here, this is a good indication. Get out into the white part of the paint and you can't even barely see it, right? So over here, we are going to mix it, right? It can go down into the water a little bit. Of course, it's hard to get on the edge of your horizon without going down into the black section of our canvas, just the smallest bit, right? But we don't want this yellow to grow too far, okay? So we put a very small amount, and now we're going to mix it overly mix it, right? Hello! What is going on tonight? You guys have been so incredible to me tonight. That's a class, heck yeah. Is it an acrylic class? Is it an oil class? Could you tell us, Lemon? Literally asking. Yeah, who knows? We'll have to wait. Acrylic class, excellent. So thank you to whoever got that acrylic class. I appreciate you. Right now, with these very, very faint amount of that yellow paint, the more that we intermix with the liquid white base that's on our sky, the more and more faint it will become, right? Especially the further away I get, I'm almost picking up liquid white on our canvas and not even extending that yellow out, right? That's what I want. I want it to be very, very faint along the bottom of the horizon. So even if it comes all the way out here, right? It's so soft and so faint that you can't even see it, okay? Now I want to, again, dab off my brush on a paper towel, try to get the majority of that yellow paint, which is basically nothing, right? We had zero paint on the brush. And now, again, sure, there's a little residue there, but there's not a lot of color, okay? So now I'm going to go into the smallest amount of blue I can get. So if I bring it up here, little amount of blue, tiny amount, right? Again, very small. I'm going to start way the heck up here. Way up there, right? Again, we're going to allow it to mix in with the liquid white base that is on the canvas, right? So we decide how much blue we get to put up here. And by the time, we want to leave a big buffer. Remember, by the time we get down here, we want it to be almost nothing, right? We don't want to have that blue on our sky or in, the sky where the yellow is going to be. That is for sure. Oh, it was Libby. Excellent. Then she just texted me. Paid for an acrylic one, virtual, copy, excellent, sweet. I will, Libby. I don't know if she's watching right now, but one of my normal students who comes down here from Washington to take classes just booked an acrylic virtual class, man. So we'll have to get together and tell her what we need in order to be able to do that. Now we'll have our very light amount of our ultramarine blue or your phthalo blue, and we want it to mix in with the liquid white the most, right? So we're using the smallest amount of paint we can possibly use, and then allow it to mix down, right? It should be very, very, very faint. And the more blue that we put into the sky, okay, the more chance that it's going to grow down into our yellow section too heavily, right? And become a green color, which is not what we want. We almost want it to be yellow into white into blue, right? But not have any stripes of color. I don't want a big stripe of color, so I have to mix it, right? Now, if I've mixed enough, here's your big test, okay? If I've mixed the blue down enough with enough liquid white that's already on my canvas, and we go into the yellow area, and you test, and you look, and you go, okay, it's not going green, right? Because I've got enough white and just the faintest amount of blue on there, right? So I can mix the two together, and hopefully stay from going green, right? Because there's barely any paint there. There's nothing there, in fact, okay? Now, if you can't get it to blend, right, and you have this area where you get this really heavy, I don't know, arc of yellow, and then your blue, and they're right next to each other, and you know if you, you continue mixing, that it's just gonna go badly, okay? We can pop a big old cloud in there. You can do all sorts of stuff with your dark kind of plaque mix to hide that transitional point, right? But in this one, I decided I wanted to try to keep it very faint and very realistic to what it actually looks like, right? In real life. And so I'm very lightly going with more blue. Just kind of get my top corners a little darker. Now that I like this blend right here, and you can't really tell where it starts and where it stops, right? Or am I crazy? No, that's an awesome blend. I like that. Right, so now I can get more blue up in the top and allow it to be a little darker, right? We didn't want to put on too much to start, for sure. Now I can decide, maybe I want it to be a little bit more up there, right? Again, very small amounts, and we're allowing it to mix in with the liquid white base coat. And we're trying to keep that stuff up there, right? In reality, when you look at the sky, right, it is very bright white, almost white at the bottom, very bright blue, right? And then as you go up taller and taller and taller, it gets darker and darker, very slightly. Even in the middle of the day, right? It's still going to be slightly darker if you're looking straight up, and it's going to be slightly brighter once it gets down on that horizon, right? It's just the way that the world works, right? Oh, man, it's gorgeous. How close do I want to bring that blue into my blended area? Because again, I don't want to have an area that looks like a stripe of paint that doesn't blend out, right? We want to put the paint up there and then really mush it and massage it. Doesn't that look real, doesn't it? Right? Like, this is what it looks like when I go out to the beach and the sun is just setting. It's very bright down there. I mean, literally sun right on top of the horizon. You know what I mean? So it's ultra yellowy sunlight, but then you got that darker part of your sky, especially as sunset is setting in. And not every time, especially out here in Oregon, I thought, man, like every day was just going to be these cloud-filled skies out there at the coast. You know what I mean? What's up? Did I say Washington? Oh. Oh, and you're like, oh, it rains. Right. So a little different, but I thought that it would be, you know, like in Vegas, we had the most amazing cloudy, sunsetty skies, right? And so I was like, oh, over the ocean, it must be like that all the time. But in reality, sometimes there's a bare, empty sky out there. There's no crazy pink color. It's just this bright blue sky day as the sun is setting down, almost right before it starts to turn like that orangey, purplish color. That's gorgeous, dude. I like that. Now, again, I'm going to try to get that blue to very lightly just fill the sky, right? I don't need it to be supremely dark. I don't want too much blue to come down too far. We need it to be very faint down there, so it's mixing more with our liquid white than anything else. And what do you guys think? Does this look more realistic than, I don't know, my normal kind of, I guess, stormy sky is what we normally do? A little stormier than this. This is like a nice bright blue sunsetty day. Dude, it's fantastic. Again, I step back and look at it and go, you know what? Do I want it to be a little darker? Do I need that paint to come down a little more? Because once you come down too far, there's no going back. You know what I mean? So you're deciding, again, how bright and how dark. Let's get a little bit more blue. Yeah, right? A little deeper, because there's more paint on the brush, right? You got to have a darker part of your sky. So we'll put on this left side just a little bit more of the paint up in the top, and then just kind of blend it out, right? It's all like a sequin pillow if you think about it almost, right? You can push and slide that paint over one way. You can slide it over the other way. Almost looks like clouds against that darker blue patch, right? So how much paint are you putting on your brush into your sky? And then how heavily are you mixing it, right? What is your liquid white base looking like, right? What do you feel like today? Because that's all that matters. Seriously, do you feel like it should be a bit darker or brighter or whatever for that day? Dude, that's cool. Oh man, we can just come in with a little bit more, right? And again, all the paint is wet, right? We don't do acrylic painting a lot during these tutorials, right? They're mainly oil tutorials. I know I need to do more acrylic tutorials, and I will. I almost, this one almost was an acrylic tutorial, and then I was like, you know what? No, let's do one more oil, and then tomorrow for Monday Night Madness, we can drop an acrylic tutorial for everybody, right? So this guy, the more I pull that blue from the corner, right, drag from the top, the same angle. So starting here, and then I'm just moving the brush over, but it's remaining at the same angle, kind of dragging that color down. Oh, doesn't that look like a cloud? Oh, oh, oh. And if we can leave it soft enough and small enough and far enough away and blend it to however we feel, right, then we're going to like it more. Look at that. Dudes, right? Again, how much bravery do we have to take this blue and allow it to get close to that yellow, right? Because we know, I don't know about you, I remember from like elementary school, right? If you mix yellow and blue, it does not go well. It goes green, right? Oh my Liechtenstein, that is gorgeous. That's it, right there. I'm not touching it anymore. Okay, now we're gonna get our, man, what time do we start? Do we do 18 minutes in the sky alone? Oh, okay. Let's take a quick little commercial break, and then I'm gonna go into my titanium white and kind of accentuate that bright part of our sky. So I'll be right back after these words. What's wrong, dude? I'm trying to book my Paint with Josh class. Oh, that's simple. He's got an app. What do you mean he has an app? You didn't know? Everybody has an app, you dummy. It's gonna be way better. Where's my phone? Dude, are you for real? Everything's on an app now. Show me how this works. Show me now. Show me now. I'll show you how it works. Let me get my phone, hang on. Dude, booking the classes is easy. I use my Paint with Josh app to get notified when the show goes live. And then if I wanted to purchase the paintings doing live on the show, I'm going to tap the menu button, click buy the live painting, and boom, it will appear. All I have to do is add it to my cart, and here we go. Dude, this is like way easier, and I love that it notifies me before the show starts, because half the time TikTok doesn't even do that. It tells me after he's already finished. Bro, same, I feel that. I always get the notification at like 6:20, and he's already done by then. Yeah, no, thanks, dude. I'm gonna book my acrylic class right now. Bro, same. Okay, let's get into this guy. Up with our liquid white, onto our fan brush, up into the sky. Okay, excuse me, not liquid white, titanium white. Excuse me. No liquid white in the sky ever. Okay, unless we're doing like we're trying to light up a sky on a black canvas. So I'm gonna take my chunky white, and we're gonna kind of stay along whatever that little shadowy deal or our kind of brighter thing look like, right? Just pop out a weird little bit. If this is brighter and heavier in the paint, then it will look closer than that further away bit, right? We don't need every piece of the sky to be filled with a cloud. Not everything out there has to be the same size or the same thickness or whatever, right? Doesn't have to be the same shape. If I want this one to be really stringy, I'll let it be really stringy, right? I want it to grow a little bit more. Maybe I'll add a little bit more paint behind it. It's all up to me. No one else gets to decide. Now we need a clean brush, okay? Or you really got to get that blue residue off of your other brush. Okay? We've only used a big 2-inch brush, haven't cleaned it, just got our, kind of dabbed it off on a paper towel. Now this is kind of in between where the blue and the yellow meet, right? So if you had trouble blending down your sky, then where you have that area of where they kind of connect and meet there, pop our cloud in and just make it bright enough and heavy enough that it kind of covers that area or that space where our two colors meet. Right? That's all you really have to do. A little bit out there. Dude, that looks really cool. What if we grab a very small little filbert brush? We come in here with a little bit of our titanium white. Again, always titanium white until we get down out here for real. Now we're going to come over here, plop it down, right? Very low on the horizon. I'm going to stay out of your guys' way, okay? So once we push it up there, like we're giving it a high five and it bends the bristles flat, then we're going to spin it in a circle. And the more that you stay right in the center, the more perfect of a circle you're going to have. Holy shaving cream, you guys. That is fantastic. Look at that. That looks amazing out there. Can I see what it looks like on the thingy? Like what their view looks like and see if it's... Oh, look at you guys. I'm just telling you. Dude, that looks cool. I like it. What if I want another little bit of white cloud, just very light, and you might not even see it, right? You may not even ever notice that it was even there until you get up close, but that's very cool. Just kind of separates that whole chunk of yellow back there and adds a little bit of something else. Dude, this literally looks like how it looked at the coast that day, London. Okay, I really need a clean brush this time. This is about the one time we have to wash the brush for sure, because we don't want any liquid white or light color blue or yellow or anything to be on our brush. We want a nice clean brush. That way, however dark the paints are straight out of the tube is how we're going to use them on our scene up here, okay? So, I'm gonna make a decision here. Oh God. I wanted to do a big crashing wave. I even labeled it as a big crashing wave. But, I mean, oh, I can see these, and you guys know me, I love painting enormous crashing waves, but I can see this small thing, kind of like we did in our last one, very small, distant thing with more sand and wet, shiny beach than anything else. But we've got to make a decision. Otherwise, we've got to put our big crashing wave, which will come up here and crash down and then have all that wet, sandy beach. What do you guys think? Should we do a big crasher? Or should we do some small little, like, lapping waves, I call them, that just kind of come in and there's nothing really happening because all the big crazy stuff is happening further out in the distance, right? So you guys let me know. And, let's see, small laughing, they said, instead of lapping. L-A-P-P-I-N-G is what I imagine it's spelled like. We got small, 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 big, small, small, small. Everyone seems like small. Don't get me wrong, I love a good, small, faraway little crasher. Thanks for the stars on Facebook. I love you. Big crasher over there on Facebook. Big and dramatic, they say over here. Now, see, now you said dramatic. I'm kind of feeling it. Right? Autocorrect gets me every time. I feel you on that too, totally. Distant crashers, that's kind of in between, right? Depends on how much room we have right here. We can do lots of stuff, but we got to do one or the other. You know what I mean? We got small, small, small. I think I've seen small more than big. So let's do them a little small-like. Okay. First thing we have to do is put our colors underneath there. So you might think it may be a little strange, but I might go with sap green, actually. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get this sap green right here. Ooh, nasty. That green color. We're going to get our blue color as well, kind of mix them together. Okay, so we got a little blue, little green, little blue, little green. Okay. Wow, this is going to be so legit real. We're going to come up here very, very tight against that horizontal line. Is that a word? I know it's horizontal, but is horizontal? Does that work? No? All right, that's fine. A little bit more sap green, a little bit more my blue. And again, I'm just trying to get it up to my black horizontal edge. Okay. I'm going to make it a word. I don't care what you guys say. Horizontal makes sense to me. Okay, so we'll get that blue and that green up into our horizontals, okay? Way up here. And we want them to mix. I don't want it to just be sap green or just be blue or just be two different stripes of both, right? I want them to kind of mix together and just make a little small little triangle out there. You can even see it in the paint, right? You can see that little triangle. It's probably even too big. It's about 2 fingers worth over here, maybe a little bit bigger, and gets to a very small point and almost disappears on this side, right? I might even pop down those Hesida head rocks that sit right out here. God, that would look so great because it's literally what it's going to look like, you guys. I'm super serial. Super serial. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So, get this little spot to go away with my white fan brush. There. All right. If we're going to have a nice level horizon. What's up? Oh. Oh, nice. Stars on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. Okay. So now we're going to come back here. And remember, not every horizon has to be level. I have a reference photo that I plan on doing. A little bit more green, a little bit more blue. Remember, we need to keep it small, but we also need that green-blue color in here. So we're going to put it underneath as well. But we're going to remember, see now we've almost tripled the size of our greeny-bluey area. I want that green-blue to come down more and more and more, right? The more that it gets down closer to me up here, the more it's going to reflect that brownish, greenish color. I hope. This is a color that has evaded me, okay? I'm going to take my raw sienna, and I guess I grabbed a little bit of burnt sienna as well. I didn't mean to, but I didn't have too much of the raw sienna left. I'm going to put the brown right up here, the bottom part of our canvas, okay? I'm going to spread it around right up to where it meets the green, okay? And you can even see there's a little gap in between there, right? Then I'm going to start my horizontal drags back and forth, right? Or little crisscrosses if I want to. Boom, to help it start to blend, right? I need to get the brown about another 2 inches above where it is right now, okay? I don't want it to just be solid brown. That's not my goal. I don't need it to just be solid brown. I need it to mix with that green, so it's a little bit of both, right? And then the closer we get to our oceany water, the more green it becomes and the less brown it becomes, right? The more we get down here, the more brown we have. Now, again, never tried it like this. So, how's it going to look? I don't know. But I know when I go out there, most times the ocean water is not blue, right? It's not black. It's this brownish green. Is your ocean water like that? If you guys ever, any of you guys live by the coast or anything, you get that brownish, greenish, grayish water, especially if there's a lot of like bubbles and tumultuousness, and you get all that like gray, green, brown, because it's basically, to me, looks like brown and green like this with too much white on the top, right? So hopefully that's what this one will end up looking like. Like I said, never tried it before. I like to do stuff, especially for you guys that watch all the time, that we've never done and see what happens, right? So that way I know that when people comment and go, hey, like, how come you didn't just do, you know, blue and green and brown and this, and be like, well, okay, I've tried that before and it came out like this, and so I'm trying it this way now. You know what I mean? Like all these things, guys, I'm just up here trying things out, seeing what works. You know what I mean? So if we're going to go small little lapping waves off into the night, we need to just do our palette tool. Yes. Let's see. Finally, I catch one of your lives. I watch on YouTube. That's awesome. And that was over on Facebook. We're also simulcasting to TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and probably somewhere else. I don't even know. Like multiple places. So wherever you're watching, right? You can watch somewhere else. Let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our titanium white, right? And we're just going to make a very small little triangle out there. Now we can see that our horizon is nice and crisp and black because we have our black gesso against the bottom versus having to make it ourselves, right? So what if we start right up on the edge and then we start dipping down very slightly, very close together, right? I don't want big giant swipes in between. It's just very small, almost like we're like a little watch, like we're a little clock out here, and they've got little tiny gears in between them, right? And so the more little scrapey bits. The tighter, more closely we can keep them, the more it's going to keep that line on the front and have that lip, right? Do you ever wonder, like, oh wow, that's starting to look really cool. Do you ever wonder why or how Josh makes it so this or so that, right? I try to tell you. I try in every video. We try to tell you. Oh, dude, that looks cool. We can do lots of stuff, you guys. Okay, you know what I'm seeing? Because I'm literally out there. I'm standing at Hesida Head right now, and I can see these crashing waves coming in, okay? So off, and we're going to do multiple lines. So very small, okay? Very little bit of paint, little taps out here on the end, okay? Just to have a bit of random paint. Then we wipe it off. We come back here and we start our little turns. Ooh, just so small. Little guys, right? They don't have to be big. They don't have to go on forever. They can get literally small enough to turn back into a little straight line, right? And continue on again. All we're trying to do is not cover up every single piece of every single thing out there, okay? Now we've got a big long line that we can do multiple things in, okay? So again, more of our titanium white. Let's say that one's too far away to even see the crashing splashy bits. So we can start to rotate little things up here or create a new little section that this guy's kind of flowing up underneath. And then why don't we change up the angle, right? Again, this is just Josh having fun, dude. Out here, so these guys are rolling up, this guy rolls down, and eventually one gets low enough and one gets high enough that they end up connecting, right? Now you've got this little bit of water in the front, that darker area, a little shadow underneath the back edge, right? And we can brighten it up. We can do all sorts of stuff. We can scrape in a little area, try to make it a little bit brighter, because again, it's very far away. It's not like we're going to see everything out there, right? Change this angle up a little bit. Maybe there's a little crasher in between that guy, right? Just rolling over different places every time, everywhere. Differences, right? Oh, that is gorgeous. Just remember, grabbing our titanium white. This guy came down that way. That guy lined up, right? What if there was another little thing happening out here? All these things, guys, we get to decide what's going on each time just by how it looks, right? How it's acting or reacting or whatever. It's all up to us. We come back underneath that little guy. Connect these little friends with just a little bit of white in between, right? That's looking more realistic as what the water actually looks like in real life than any painting we've ever done before. That is cool, you guys. Just making messes out there, seriously, right? And we don't want them to be too big. We don't need them to get too close. We always try to start at a higher point on the left and go down, right? To help it look more, oh my God, that looks fantastic. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of white right there, just kind of tapping to help us, or help our eye figure out between all that green, right, that white is connected onto that bit of water that's rolling up and going over the edge. Oh my God, look at this one, right? Little taps of white out here, creating little bits of brightness, little white caps in the distance, little things, right? All we have to worry about is just making stuff different. That's it. If it's too bright, get out of there. If it's too dark, add some bright to it. Like literally, it's a little mess out there, you guys. Seriously, you don't have to do too much, okay? Now, oh, dudes, I like it. See, this guy was kind of flowing up. He kind of goes off the edge of the canvas. You can't really see what's happening with him over there. So don't pay too much attention to him because everyone's going to be looking right in there, right? And if we can get, even with the palette tool, get in there and just make a little brighter section, that'll be the eye of our wave right there. Gorgeous, right? You can do these things, you guys. I'm telling you, it is not rocket science, especially if I can do it. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it, okay? We're going to get a very, what'd you say? Yeah, it's not rocket science. London said it's oil paint. Very, very small things out here. Again, I don't want them to be too big. I don't want them to overtake. I don't want it to get too bright. But little bit of crashing splash. And I can go above my horizon if I wanted to with that kind of little bit of white. But you don't really need to. You know what I mean? Again, very small, very far in the distance. Too much detail is going to be too much, right? Too much is bad. Now I do need to pop in just a little bit of edge on top of that guy. There. just enough, just to help our brain see it's rolling over, right? Now we need to kind of fix the base and kind of clean up the bottom under here. We'll have a little bit of area in front of where our wave is crashing down, right? Not necessarily overfilling every space, but not necessarily leaving every space, you know, wide open either, right? It's all up to us. We get to choose each time. It's very flat, right? Again, it is a slight bit lower than it is up here, right? But it's pretty flat line. You don't need to make it too terribly wavy, okay? Now, let's, we blasted past that commercial break again accidentally. So let's get in here. We'll take a quick mersh break. And then when you come back, the painting will look totally different because I would have done everything while you were gone. No, that's a joke. We are going to put in one little bright little spot right there. Now, we'll be right back after these words. Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio with you today, taking a break from editing to talk about our Glitterwix candles. Absolutely fantastic, super unique jars, more than 65 different scents that you can find if you head over to their site. Check it out, get your favorite, let us know which one you got when you come back, and let's pop over to the show and see what we've been missing while we've been gone. For me? Oh, what's the code? I forget. Josh, oh, okay, so guys, we're just running that Glitterwix thing. If you use the promo code Josh Told Me about Glitterwix, right? Just use promo code Josh Told Me, then that will get you a sweet little deal. But you got to go over and check them out because they're honestly the coolest candles, best smelling things you'll ever smell in your whole schmeller, right? But you got to trust me, get over there and get some. I prefer Morning Walk. That's my favorite. You don't have to get that one, but that is my favorite one. So if you do have or want to get some of those Glitterwix candles, try that Morning Walk one at least, along with whatever else you were thinking. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Now, we'll get that liquid white. Okay, we're going to get into our titanium white, and the wave has got, remember I told you not to get it bigger than 2 fingers, and then what I do? I made it 4 fingers big. See, don't listen to me. Just put me on mute and just do what I do, okay? So we're going to take that liquid white and the titanium white. Now, this is a very wet paint, so we're going to scoop up a little bit. We're going to get right underneath our little wave, and we're going to scrape it down. I'm not going to put the whole bit of paint, because as you can see, we're continuing more and more, pushing harder and harder to access that color. It does not need to be perfect, okay? It just has to be there. That's it, a little bit, and it just has to have a little separation. Smaller the better, right? But big enough that you can get your brush in there as well, right? We've got to get our brush in there and be able to pull it down without interacting with the paint above, right? So don't get it too close. Don't put it too far away either, right? It can be as much, as little as you feel like. I always say start with less, because even after we streak it down with our brush, you can go back and do this again, right? If it wasn't as bright as you liked it or whatever, right? Maybe I put a little bit more in front of the sun area. Maybe drag it down a little bit more. Who knows? I don't know what it's going to look like, right? Never done these 2 colors before. And even if we did, or even if we had done this color pattern, it may look different every time, right? So completely up to us. Now let's get in here. Let's get a clean brush. This brush is pretty dirty with all that brown paint, and that's just really going to turn our bright color into a dark color, right? So let's wash off the brush. While I'm doing that, you guys check in. Let me know where you're watching from. And I'm about to ask you the viral question, or at least the question that we ask when we tend to go viral in these videos, right? So our nice clean dry brush, we're going to come up here and take our 2-inch brush, push against and pull down, 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 very vertically down. Sometimes, a lot of times in a certain spot, sometimes less, right? Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Getting less and less and less as we get over to the side, right? This left side is much further away than our right side is. Right side's a little bit closer to us, right? At least that's how we're painting it to look. So now, I'm going to ask you just in the comments, does this look like wet, sandy beach just to you? Yes or no, right? If not, tell me what you think it looks like. We get the ice wall from Game of Thrones. We get glacier. We get, I don't know, this one might look like an hourglass because it's kind of like brown, sandy waterfall, right? But what do you think it looks like? In the comments now, right? We got Ohio, Pennsylvania, Missouri, California. Looks like a cliff over there, right? Looks like a waterfall. Looks like all sorts of stuff, right? But what if we came in and we pulled with the same amount of force away from our wave, sometimes pushing back towards the wave, right? And you get this wet, shiny, sandy area right down here in front of our crashing, rolling little wavy bits, right? Now, the more paint that you had put up there and pulled down, the more wet, shiny, sandy area you're going to get. Do you see it? Do you see that wet shininess yet? What's up? Yep, we get that a lot. A lot of times we get that edge of the world flat earther, or the flat earthers are going to love this. You know what I mean? So we get that quite often. Now, the more that we mix down into that darker brown color, right, it's going to brighten it up a little bit because we're taking that brightness down here. But once we get that dark paint on the brush and we come back up to this guy, we can push that shininess back to wherever we feel like it should be, right? It needs to blend together. So we're basically taking the light down and the dark up, and the light down and the dark up. And then we're deciding where, how much, how bright, this, that, and the other, does your sand shine, right? And let's say you put on too much. You were like, oh no, I do it all the time. Right? Pull it down too far, and then all of my sand is nice and shiny, right? So let's say if you did that, you could go back in with your dark brown, which I don't think I need to, but just to show you, get your darker brown on the brush and start pushing it back to however you like it, literally, right? It's all up to you guys every time. How does it look? Does it look okay to you? Do you think you need to change it? Do you need to do this? Do you need to do that? Right? Get a little color around the edges for whoever grabs this one. Remember, if you do get this one during the live show, you get a free gift off the Spinny Winnie wheel. And it's not just fan-schmastic. Dudes, should we put in the big Oregon rocks that come down here and like project out into this little spot? Or should we leave it? Totally up to us. Sorry? Hey, thank you, Curiax over there for the 1 pound. I appreciate you. I love you for that, right? Now, the only thing that's odd about this painting now is that we have this big gap when it should be a small little gap, right? So all you have to do is take your liquidy white, titanium white paint, get back in here right on top of what we already had, and bring that brightness down on top of that sand, and leaving just a littlest, smallest little dark black separation. And all it is the pure black canvas that's underneath that we haven't covered, right? And this is what I always say anytime we're doing scenes that have a black canvas, right? You don't have to cover everything. You don't need every single bit of the canvas to disappear, right? You need some things to remain, which, like that original dark separation that's in there, right? The more that we can leave that guy, the more it looks like a little shadow underneath the lip of our water. Now let's say, oh no, I can't just, I can't get it to get down, or maybe I brought it down too far. No, what am I gonna do? It's okay. I do it sometimes too, right? Let's drag this guy through and bring it out this way. And just save a little bit of that separation, right? Because not every time does it have to be exact. You can have little bits that even grow way out here. Look at how much paint was there. Goodness, right? That thing grow out and down and crazy. What's up? No rocks? I honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it for once. For once. Did I? What? I asked for rocks? Oh, these rocks. I got you. I don't consider them rocks. They're more of a mountain. So since no one said no mountain, then we can put them in, yeah? No? Oh, okay. No. Okay. Remember, scrape, scrape, scrape. Scraping can help you blend it, right? Take the paint from an area that it's not supposed to be to an area where you might like it to be, right? All these things out here, we can change, right? Check this out. If I didn't like that, look what happens. Boom, it's all made of that same liquidy white paint, right? So I can take it, quite honestly, away, deleting it from my scene, right? Getting rid of that line and then going back in and connecting onto it and finishing, right? It's like that. Nothing out there needs to be extremely bright. It's just a bit of fish pish, like we always call it. And you can take anything away from the edge and slide it back, and it'll make it more shiny and sheeny on your water's edge. Look at that. You guys. See what I mean? Oh, my word. That is fabulous. Okay, let's get one more little bit of darkness, a little bit of brown. There we go. I need it to be so bright. There we go. Nice little blending action. You guys, I'm telling you. When I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Little bit of brown. We don't want to have too much, Josh. Get that big old chunk of paint off of there. There we go. Right? Need to be sort of dark, and then you get that sort of bright. Oh, that's sort of cool. So we got to come take our last little commercial break, my friends. And then we're going to launch in all of our sandy speckles and all the crazy bits that you love. And you know you do. So head over to our commercial break. I'll throw a little bit of greeny blue in here as well. There, right? And when we come back, let us know what you think of this quick little 30-second commercial. We'll be right back after these words. Hey guys, what are we doing over here? Did you know we've got more than 2,800 videos that you can watch and learn from? And we're actually going to upload this video to one of our playlists right now. You didn't know we had playlists? Tons of them from 2021, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Seascapes, landscapes, everything. Get over there, watch it. I don't know what else to tell you guys to do, but I got to get back to work. So get out of here. What are you doing? Get out of here. Who is that crazy guy? All right, now we're going to come out here and make our little lip of our water just a little crazy, a little thicker, smallest bit, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be exact across the whole thing. That's the whole point of it. That is amazing right there. I am in like with this one. Boom, 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 boom. So if you want to grab this one, right, you got to let us know. Head over to paintwithjosh.com and grab it, right? Let us know by going and grabbing it. There we go. That's what I want to see, is that bright shine underneath my sun, especially right in here. So it's a little wider at the back and then gets a little skinnier at the front. So it's up to me how much of that brightness. I got to leave that little separation in between the two bits of white. You have to leave it, right? And if you want any of that thicker foamy stuff back here, you got to put that titanium white, right? And again, it's allowing our sunlight to look really bright right down there, right? So we get to choose every time, of course, what it looks like. But fabulous, dudes. I like that one. So let's sprinkle in all of our crazy, our crazy sandy bits. We'll see what just found a new home, everybody. What's up? Not this one? Let's see what found a new home then. Oh, it's just going international. Hey, dude, Australia? Are you kidding? Holy moly. That is going literally across the world. Wow. Okay. Now, I'm going to wash off my fan brush. If it was you that grabbed this one, then come into the comments and let us know. We'll have to look at which platform you're watching on, and that's going to be really cool, dudes. We're going to take a little bit of our liquid white, okay, just pure liquid white. I'm going to come in here, very clean, dry fan brush. I only need a couple little spritzes into my ocean back here, just because it's not the closest thing to us. We don't see it a whole lot, okay? And then we're going to, what's up? Hey, who is it? DJ says it was me. I would imagine, but should we do the, that's the postal code, right? What's the last two digits of your postal code? Just to confirm that it was you, in fact, right? And I'm going to sprinkle in our little speckles of our sand, and it's just pure liquid white, very lightly, right? Perfect. Okay, London has confirmed that DJ is the one that grabbed this painting. So thank you so much. Seriously, going all the way from Oregon, USA to Australia. That is incredible, honestly. I love the sky. I love the yellow. I love the greeny brown water. In Australia, does your greenish brownish water look, I mean, does your oceany water look like that? Like kind of greenish, brownish, tannish? Depends on the light, I guess, right? I went down to Hesida Head the other day, you guys. And I'm going to try to paint it. Imagine where the sun was the eye of the wave. It was above the horizon, and it was as green as an emerald. It's gorgeous, right? Gorgeous. Let's see. Oh, that's Christina. Shorshina over there. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Have you heard of the Maldives? Yes, I've heard of the Maldives. I've heard that their water is like crystal, almost like, not teal, almost like this blue, like sky blue. How crystal clear the waters are over in the Maldives. Like you could literally look through and see the ocean bottom. Right? If I tried to do that, even like 4 feet of depth in the Oregon water, I could probably not see down to the bottom. You know what I mean? Thank you from Poland. I appreciate you. Appreciate ya. DJ. We have beaches of all kinds here. I like that. So now DJ is going to be responsible for choosing the title out of all of your guys' title suggestions. Since they got it during the live show, they get to choose the title and get a spin on the spinny winny wheel. The only thing that is excluded from the spinny winny wheel for international purchases is the Glitterwix candles, unfortunately. So if it lands on that one, unfortunately, we'll have to respin it for you. But anything else, we can get out there to you, and it's going to be fantastic. So you guys help them come up with a title. Finish cleaning off that brush, cleaning off the old palette. And then, remember, there's more than just this one available on the site. And thank you to the person who purchased 2323. The 2323 was my favorite Seascape, and somebody grabbed that right after the show ended. I felt so bad. It's like we ended the show, and then the phone was like, ching, and I'm like, no way. Like, I like doing it when the people are there, you know what I mean? So I can say thank you and all that stuff. So whoever got number 2323 right after the last show, thank you so much, honestly. And then we sold 3 of the smaller paintings as well before we started this one. So it's been an incredible day, you guys. You guys are honestly... I'm going to cry if I talk about it. So beautiful ocean waves. Thank you. So you guys come up with a title, right? What do you think this one should be called? And thank you, Aaron Martin over there on Facebook. I was reading your comment as I was trying to say what I was going to say. So what do you think this one should be called? Let us know in the comments now, right? Depends on what you feel like. Each person's going to be a little bit different. And then DJ gets to pick which or what the title's going to be. And that, if you ask me, is the coolest part about Paint with Josh. He lets his purchasers pick the title, right? What they think the title might be. I just think that's cool. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Very neat. I like that. I need one little, right? Like I tell you guys, putting in a dark separator is not fun, right? It is not easy to do. So you must, right? See how that just separated that bit of white by having a little line of black in there. So you must not cover the dark separator because it is difficult to put back in, right? It is not an easy thing to get back in there with dark paint right on top of your finished painting, right? And make it separate again. So remember, try not to cover it. That's the main goal. Try not to cover it when you're doing it, because getting up underneath that liquid white line and not touching it, right? That deserves the Nobel Prize. Like, that is the most difficult thing to do, is to get up here with a dark black paint right underneath the brightest parts that I want you to look at, right? And to keep them separated from each other. God, look at that thing. That whispers of the tide. Whispers. I like that. Excellent title. Yes, I need to put one more. See, if you do one bit of darkness that's too much, then you got to get back over it with your light. Right? There we go. Cut it in half. Oh, fabulous. Okay, let's screw this guy from the old easel, and we'll get the title on it. Look at that sky, you guys. Oh, can we see what it's like? Can you spin the supremely bright light away? And then, let's see. Oh, it's so much better on my eyes. Oh, my poor eyeballs. We didn't even need the light for this one, I bet. I love the wispiness of the little bit of clouds, right? Oh, God. Fantastic. Deej to the J. You got to come up with a title. Let us know what it's going to be. And why don't we take a quick commercial break so I can whet my old whistler, and then we'll be right back, literally, after these words. What's wrong, dude? I'm trying to book my Paint with Josh class. Oh, that's simple. He's got an app. What do you mean he has an app? You didn't know? Everybody has an app, you dummy. It's gonna be way better. Where's my phone? Dude, are you for real? Everything's on an app now. Show me how this works. Show me now. Show me now. I'll show you how it works. Let me get my phone. Hang on. Dude, booking the classes is easy. I use my Paint with Josh app to get notified when the show goes live. And then if I wanted to purchase the paintings doing live on the show, I'm going to tap the menu button, click buy the live painting, and boom, it will appear. All I have to do is add it to my cart, and here we go. Dude, this is like way easier, and I love that it notifies me before the show starts, because half the time TikTok doesn't even do that. It tells me after he's already finished. Bro, same, I feel that. I always get the notification at like 6:20, and he's already done by then. Yeah, no, thanks, dude. I'm gonna book my acrylic class right now. Yeah, thanks, dude. Is that what I really sound like? I can't believe any, shut up, London. She goes, yeah. I guess it is what I really sound like. Yep. Some people say I sound like the Joker from the Dark Knight movies sometimes. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take my birds. We're going to pop them into the old sky. And we're hoping that Deej is going to come up with a title. But I didn't want to do this in the commercial because you guys all know that we have to do the caw as like a group, right? So I'm going to count down no matter where you are across the world. Sorry for the burps. You have to go caw with me, okay? So I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and then we're all gonna caw simultaneously, okay? So here we go. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, caw. Oh, I love it. The entire universe is reverberating with caws around the world. Okay, so this one came out excellently fantabulous. We need to get a title from our purchaser, Deej, over there. Deej to the J, sorry. Oh, yeah, no, she hasn't come up with a title yet, so yes, she has. I just forgot. Okay, we've unscrewed the thing. We put in the old bird stig. We did the top of the painting, right? Show you a trick. Take your dip your finger into your liquid white, put it on top of the canvas where there is no color, okay? This will save you from ruining your sky with your brush. You know when your brush like sneaks down a bristle into your sky? You don't want that to happen. Now with that liquid white residue on your finger, you're going to go into your blue, right? That's greenish blue. We're going to go into the blue. And then we're going to rub the blue along the top with just your finger, right? Doesn't need much blue. You don't need it to be terribly dark. You see what I mean? Like literally rubbing it back and forth, spreading the blue very lightly around until it matches the rest of them, right? That's how you kind of blend the top of your sky. And if I wanted it darker, then I add a little bit more blue, right? All up to me. But this way, you won't have that bristle sneak down. Yeah, that's a perfect match right there. But you won't have that bristle sneak down and kind of ruin your sky. I've done it many times, right? And we've figured out that doing it by finger is much easier to do, right? So, a lot more fun sometimes. Either way, we're going to come up with a title for this one and sign the sucker. Okay, so we've got Whispers of the Pacific, right? No, Whispers of the Tide, just like that. I mean, Australia's in the Pacific Ocean, isn't it? Right? Am I sounding silly right now? It's, I mean, you got like Atlantic, Indian, Pacific. It wraps around, and Australia's like right there. Am I wrong? Am I way off? What's this number again? 2326. We're calling it Whispers. Right? What is the ocean around? Yes. Okay. So they're saying yes. Whispers of the Chide. Chide. Whispers of the Chide. Okay. Painted on 3/8 of 2026. We're all going to go check out paintwithjosh.com. Plus, the Paint with Josh app, available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It's a free app. It's got over 500 downloads. Yeah, guys. Almost wishing I would have charged you guys $1.99 for that. But no, we wanted to make it free for everyone, right? So, download the Paint with Josh app, not only to purchase paintings or classes or whatever, right? But to get notified more than anything else. Have you ever been late to a show and you're like, ugh, I wish the, blank, right, fill in platform, IGFBTTYT, tells me that Josh is going live. It never seems to tell me, right? Sometimes those automated systems don't send it out to everybody all at the same time. You know who does send it out to everybody who has the Paint with Josh app? London, right back here. Like literally hits the button to send out the message, right? So if you are always late to the show, you can't figure out when to get here, right? Get that Paint with Josh app, because at least that's going to be notifying us that we are going live, right? We're live. We're starting the show now, like literally directly after she hits that send button, we start the show. And you get the splash page and then the intro, and then boom, we're starting to paint, right? So if you don't already have the Paint with Josh app, get it now. Okay, so let's run the spinny winny wheel first, okay? Then we'll do the awesome light party, and it's going to be amazing. So this thing seems like it's more and more loose. I'm going to have to tighten. Oh yeah, this is definitely loose. Let's try grabbing it from the bottom so it doesn't fall out and smash on my toe. Okay, so as you guys know, the purchaser of the painting that we paint live during the show gets to spin the spinny wheel, right? Whatever it lands on is going to be coming back as a free gift. What's up? Oh, you know what rips? The PWJ app. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you. Right? So let's spin this for Deej, and whatever it lands on is coming back to her or them as a free gift. Hey, Paint with Josh poster right on the dot. Right on the very first spin. And that's the second time it's hit the poster tonight, you guys. I swear there's not a magnet in there or nothing. No, we're all above board as far as the spinny winny wheel. So now, London's going to put up the splash or the flash warning thingy onto the canvas. I'm going to go turn off the lights in the studio. It's about to get ambient in here. Right? And what we're going to be doing is called the Paint with Josh light party, right? Because DJ got it during the live show, she's activated a light party. I mean, look, I have to stand like this if I want to be seen on TikTok. But she's activated the light party, meaning that we're going to be flashing crazy lights against the canvas, and it's going to make it change. It's going to make it look different, right? So if you're sensitive to flashing craziness, then look away for about the next 30 seconds. I'll tell you it's okay to look back when it is okay to look back. If you're going to stay, like the rest of us, right? We're going to type in, I'm ready, hit send, shut your eyes. By typing in, I'm ready, you're giving up all liability against Paint with Josh LLC, okay? When you shut your eyes and you leave them shut for about 10 to 20 seconds, and I say the words, light party, right? And then we open our eyes, it's going to be more intense the longer that your eyes have been shut. So type in the words, I'm ready, right now. And then once you've hit send, shut your eyes. Remember, if you're sensitive to flashiness, look away. I'm telling you, I've already warned you, right? And when we see enough I'm readies, after about 10 more seconds anyway, keep those eyes shut, right? You should not be driving while watching Paint with Josh. So keep your eyes shut, okay? And we're going to hit the light party in 3, 2, 1. Light party! So what is catching your eye the most? Open those eyes and tell me what's flashing. Maybe the sky is pretty intensely flashing to me, right? That sun over there is like blinking on and off, right? So we got the sun, the agua, I like that. The sun for sure, right? I'm kind of catching the reflection of the sun too a little bit, but the sky is just wild, right? Because it's such a light, faint sky to begin with. Look at what's happening in between the clouds right here, right? And the clouds and the sky, it almost like, oh, it's hurting my eyes. Okay, so we're gonna bring it down in 3, 2, 1. Boom, back to normal lighting conditions. So we're gonna do one more thing before we end the shows for today and this weekend anyway. At least I gotta come back on Monday, that's my Friday. But we're gonna do something that we call the RGB party, okay? So that means we're gonna put just solid red light, and then just solid green light, and then just solid blue light. And all I need you to do is tell me which one you like best, okay? So we're gonna go red in 3, 2, 1, red. Oh my Lord, look at the sun disappeared. It's gone, right? This looks like a pinky sky to me. All right, so what do you like? We got red, here comes green in 3, 2, 1, green. Ooh, that sky is so faint that you literally can barely see any definition. Fabulous, gonna go blue in 3, 2, blue. Oh, look, it looks like a moon. Oh, this might be one time where the blue is my favorite, right? We got Team Blue already over there. So let's bring it down to normal lighting conditions. Okay, I'm bringing it back right about there. Should be about normal light. I'm hashtag Team Blue on this one for sure. I normally go red, right? But the green was almost too bright. The red was almost too bright because this is a very faint scene, right? It's very soft in the sky. Very realistic looking in the sky. You know what I mean? Team Blue says Katie Lexa. Katie, did you paint today? Did you go live and we missed? I always forget. I'm so sorry. I try to take my audience and share it with other people and tell you guys to go watch other people and stuff. And most times I forget because I'm just thinking about too many things. So now it's her day off. Excellent. Well, welcome. Thank you for tuning into this one. Did you catch the first show? Because that one came out fan-schmastic. I've already put it in the dry room, so I can't go get it. I fear I'll trip coming out of that dark area back there with no lights, right? So I take the weekend. See, oh, look at you, right? But you get to hang out with family, and you got a little kid, right? Got to go do stuff on the weekends and such. Let's see, I'm 100% Team Blue for this one. I missed the first. That's okay. First one came out amazing. It was just another version of that golden Oregon Coast seascape. I so almost put those Oregon Coast rocks in there too, because legit, I can see them there already. But this one came out absolutely fantastic. Oh, not choose chaos. My toddlers are chaos. I think the A is before the O. But either way, in any case, this one came out amazing. I honestly can't wait to see your guys' versions. Please try to keep that dark separator so you don't have to go back and put it in, right? When we have to go back and put it in, sometimes it's a lot tougher than just not covering it, right? So I can't wait to see your guys' versions of not only the, what did we call the last one? It was something gold, like all it takes is gold, or I can't even remember, but it was like the Golden Oregon Shores Coast Seascape that we did on a bigger canvas. Came out wickedly awesome. I almost just wiped paint into my eye. Beyond that, can't wait to see your guys' versions of that one before and this one here. And if you finish, or when you finish, post it into any of my Facebook comments. I post Facebook all the time. So literally go to the first one you see and post a picture into the comments. And I'll be like, oh, that's amazing. Even if it's not have anything to do with anything, just go to the first one you see, drop it there, okay? I always at least try to respond to everybody that I can. They're getting so many comments over on Facebook that I cannot physically reach everybody and respond back to everybody. So if I don't write back to you, don't take it personally. It's just the time in the day. I need like 6 of me. You know what I mean? One for each platform and then one to go mess around and just come up with new paintings, which is, that's the position I want. I just want the carefree version, and all the other versions of Boy Raccoon over here have to deal with the rest of the stuff, right? So I do love you guys. This one's turned out fantastic. Send in your versions, please. Try that greenish, bluish, brownish tone. It came out really realistic, especially here. You know what I mean? That is legit what it looks like, because you get that white on the top of all that greenish brown and everything starts flowing around. And of course, you can't do it everywhere, but really neat. This one came out absolutely stellar. Nothing I would change about a single thing about it. So you guys have been great. We'll see you back here for Monday Night Madness at 5 p.m. on Monday. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 West Coast. What's that, 1 or 2 a.m. in the UK, and probably sometime next week if you're watching in Australia. So I do love you guys so much. I can't wait to come back. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah. Well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out paintwithjosh.com, because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.